was talking to a father only about 4 days ago, whose daughter's insides have been ripped out completely and she can't have any children. So what kind of mindset that you have to be so depraved to do something like that? And that just doesn't destroy the child. It destroys the whole family unit. It messes everybody up in the family, the mother, the father, the extended family. And so you're just not sort of destroying a child. You're destroying the whole network, the whole fabric of that network. And talking to him and cry, basically crying still. And this is a historical case. This is going back probably 10, 15 years. And he was saying that it's all started when she went to work in a restaurant. And they were so nice and kind and everything like that, and the free food, and made you feel like, like a princess, more or less. So we call it love bombing, where you completely love bombed and you think this is the best thing since sliced bread. And, and this guy who really loves me, he's got a hotel, he's got a restaurant, he's got a business, he's got everything. So, it's all hunky-dory and then drugged and then raped by other people. And then, and can you imagine the level of abuse that child went through, having her internals all ripped up apart? And the police and the authorities got that case completely wrong. They didn't even investigate it, and they messed it up big time.
When you say ripped apart, is it
internally? She's so damaged that she can't have children
from the violent way that they abused her.
The violent way they abused her. Whether she was being abused all the time, whether there was, I don't know whether I'm able to say that, whether objects were used or whatever. It was just very violent.
Are these the kinds of things that you are dealing with?
Yeah, we had a very high-profile case in Leicester in 2013. We had a young, she was a Sikh girl, and I sort of challenged in a way. She had lost a friend of hers from the age of 9, I think. So she never had any counselling or anything like that. So she was suffering from sort of slight little mental health issues. This girl at 15 was horrendously tortured for about 6 to 8 weeks. I remember just as we normally go out to do talks, and I was in Leicester University doing a talk, and it was open to all. And the father approached me. He says, "I don't know what's going on with my daughter, but she's sort of fallen down, and CAMs are involved, and everybody's involved, but she's not talking to anyone." And so I remember it was a Tuesday night, and early November. And then I went on the Saturday, sat with her for 10, 15 minutes. For some godly reason, unknown to me, she started talking to me. And some of the stuff she was coming out with was just horrendous just to listen to. And so we sort of had her followed, had her sort of watched her for over a month. We had known where she was going, which house, which flats she was taken to.
Like spies, you sort of seek spies, like checking.
Well, it was more of a company that we used, a private investigation.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is really involved.
Yeah. So because what was happening was they would pick her up at sort of college at say about 12 o'clock. She would be taken to hotels. She would be taken places. And then
how old was she?
she had just turned 16. When I first met her, she was 15, but she just turned 16. And then by about 3:30, she would be at the college that she attended, so her parents can pick her up. And the parents were none the wiser of what was happening. So in between them 4 hours, and so we then decided with the family, this is the steps we need. We need to know exactly her movements and everything. We collected the data that was given to us, the videos of her going into flats and stuff like that. And then we had a meeting with the social services, the sexual grooming team, and the police at Leicester. They picked up the case, but then, to my surprise, she was still sexually assaulted on, even though that they had the case. And then we had to take this young lady out of that particular area and rehouse her in South London, and then move her around so that nobody can sort of track where she is and not. And then I think it was somewhere around about January 14th or 15th where we gave a video evidence to the police, and by July, I think, 3 had already pleaded guilty to what they were doing to her. 3 didn't plead guilty, so he went to court, and after 3 days' evidence, her video evidence, they pleaded guilty as well. So we were able to get 6 convictions there, and the level of abuse is that it was horrendous. And even I think I remember looking at her body one day. Mentally, she was not all there. She cut herself with a blade in 209 places. Can you imagine the body of a child cut in 209? Wherever her hands would reach, she'd cut.
She was dead.
No, she's alive, but she was just cutting herself, and her stomach and her legs and her arms, and I think I've still got pictures of that, and so it is a journey into hell, and it's a journey even into a deeper hell, because even hell is not sort of portrayed in that kind of light. But some of what these girls have gone through is crazy.
Is it only girls?
I think obviously we've had cases where we've had boys come through, but with the boys, it's not sort of gang related. It's like if somebody's groomed a child, it'll be for that person's satisfaction or control or power or whatever. It's a one-to-one. It's not really. I haven't come across a case where a boy has been passed on and gangs are controlling them or not. But mainly it's girls that. And I think it's also a fact that boys find it very hard to sort of come out as quickly as the females do. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
91% watching Heretics clips are not subscribed. Quick favor, hit subscribe. Free, takes 2 seconds, and helps us question everything together.